If English isn't your first language and you have an English-speaking job interview coming up, then this is a must-watch. Discover 3 phrases you should never say in your interview and replace them with 3 much better alternatives to sound professional and impressive. Come on, let's go do your job interview in English with complete success. When you do an interview in English, it's possible that the interviewer uses a word that you don't know or you're not entirely sure about. This is totally normal, it happens to everybody, even if English is your first language, so don't worry about that. However, how you respond to this situation is what matters and could potentially give a better or worse impression to the interviewer. Saying, "I don't understand," is probably gonna give a bad impression to the interviewer. It's tempting to say this expression because you mean it, but it's not very professional in its tone. It sounds quite abrupt, quite direct. Instead, I recommend saying this: "I'm not familiar with that term. Could you please explain it a bit more? I'd like to make sure I understand correctly. Can you rephrase that, please?" This way, you show the interviewer that even though you sometimes face challenges with English communication, you know how to handle the situation with confident composure, and this demonstrates your professionalism and competence in general. Attractive qualities in a candidate, I'm sure you'll agree. It happens all the time. The interviewer asks you to share an experience that you've never had. In that case, avoid admitting, "I don't have experience with that," even if it's true. That expression really draws attention to your lack of experience, and you can phrase it in another way that sounds a lot more positive. Let's take an example. Imagine when you do your interview in English, you're asked to share an example of an experience with a difficult manager, but you've only ever had really nice managers. In that case, say this: "I don't have a specific example right now, but let me share my general approach to handling conflict." And now you go on to describe how you manage a similar task that's still relevant to the job you're applying for. This way, you still give a good interview answer that shows your skills, and you demonstrate yourself as a problem solver and somebody who has a proactive attitude, which again are very attractive qualities in a candidate. By the way, I guess that you're preparing for a job interview in English, in which case I recommend my other video, 5 words you need to know for your job interview in English. I think that could be really useful to help you prepare. A lot of people get worried when they do an interview in English that they'll get asked a question that they don't know the answer to, or they don't have enough information to give a full answer. It happens. However, do not simply answer by saying, "I don't know," or something similar like, "I'm not sure." This type of response highlights your lack of knowledge and brings more attention to the fact that you're not offering any solution. Instead, if you find yourself in that situation, say this: "I can't give a full answer right now, but here's my plan to provide a solution." And then you explain the steps that you would take to find this information, like where you would research, how you would find this information, where and to who would you present the answer. And then you could email the interviewer after the interview with your full, complete answer. Instead of just admitting a lack of knowledge, you show yourself as somebody who takes initiative. Of course, if you do your research and preparation in advance, then you limit the chances of being surprised by any questions. Remember, you can prepare with me through my job interview in English course and personalized one-to-one sessions. See how I can help you succeed at talktips.tv. Hope to see you there, and good luck with your English interview.